Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the iGPFun Formula 3 League here, presented by Virtual Racing School. We are here live at Okayama. I'm Austin Knight. I'm joined by Marco Barbonera, and it is a big, giant day here to end out this wonderful weekend with some F3 action. 60 cars, right?
48.
No, 48 cars. 48.
Which is still a fantastic number. And Austin, I have to tell you, when I think about iRacing, I always think about Okayama. It is the quintessential racetrack. I think more than Lime Rock, more than Summit Point, because this is the, at least when I signed up, and I think when the majority of drivers sign up in the Rookie Series, this is the international racetrack, like the, almost close to grade A racetrack that everyone learns first in the Rookie Series, no? And so it's in the heart of everyone. And despite that, it's still a very, very, very treacherous racetrack with its elevation changes, different corners, and Japanese tarmac. Even though today, as you can see from the screen, it's only 28 degrees Celsius, so the drivers will at least have the comfort of, a cool, quote-unquote, racetrack.
Yeah, it's gonna be a cold racetrack at the start. The thing is, as we go later on to these races, they get progressively more heated, and I've been noticing tire wear does get a little bit more worn throughout the race, and it always gets a little bit crazy near the end. But yeah, Okayama, it's you and I have a lot of experience here, and we both kind of say this is our favorite track on the service. Everyone in Rookie Road, they've all driven this track. No matter what week you're in, the week when you go to Okayama, it's like that track that everyone knows.
Yeah, everyone knows. I mean, you have to race here. It's like mandatory, and even in higher level series. If there is one of the free tracks that gets picked, it's usually this or Lime Rock Park, especially in the VRS GT, in the more Antonio Jimenez-Tellez with a great save. It's a track that has hosted the Formula 1 in the past. Still to this day hosts, of course, the traditional opening round of Super GT, and it's always around early April. And I will always say, when there is nice weather in that race, it's usually only cold, because most of the time it rains, sometimes it snows, because it's early April and we are basically in the middle of nowhere, in the mountains. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the city of Okayama, of course, is
it's 2 hours away from the track.
Exactly, and the second part, the way it is spelled in Japanese, the second kanji, which is the Yama part, is also read as sun, and it means mountain, basically. So gives an idea of where we are, basically in the middle of the mountains, which is the reason why F1 didn't come here after a couple of races, because and Super GT has to basically have the all the tracks and the motorhomes, etc., at the base of the mountain, and then basically only the necessary personnel makes the track here at the pit. But still a beautiful racetrack.
Yeah, very beautiful racetrack. Super GT, Super GP actually, or Super Formula. I keep saying GP, but it's actually Super Formula. They were at Autopolis yesterday, and they had a mountain issue with a massive fog, and they actually brought out that little fact that you did when talking about Okayama and fog being very dangerous around here.
Qualifying is over, Austin, as we are waiting for the final few drivers to finish their lap. I think only Antonio Tellez is remaining, even though I think he's heading for the pits.
Yeah, he's going to the pit lane. The pit lane here is so crazy.
And the order.
Yeah.
Let's listen.
You guys.
No! Oh, come on, man!
We were waiting for that. It rivals the Nürburgring. Well, Marcus Lucio is going to be starting up on pole, followed by Samuel Hermer, QT Marto, Clark Williams, Lucas Maruk, Premzal, PS Net, Gavin Petty, Francesco Miola, Luciano Zanier, Philip Lucas, Leonardo O'Cherry, Ben White in 11th. They're followed by Will McIntyre, James Luis.
Huh? Right comes first, and then there is left. So McIntyre was in front of. No, yeah. Ben White was in. Oh, come. Well, okay, you know what I mean.
I was looking for the chat of who was going to correct myself on me saying this guy's name right. McIntyre, Luis, Sonny Rosario, Mohad Bolag, Isaac Rusek, Adam Talsma, Andy Flint, Michael Poto Jek, Bartosz Greszewski, Mark Mathis, Zachary Beeson, and Dave Martin in 24th, followed by Zachary Zomotor, Andrea Pichetti, Stuart Millen, Johan Bergeson, Phil Waller, Russell Kirkwood, Richard Veen, Antonio Tellez, Kuchi Aito at his home track, Nick Carty, Christian Glamcenter, Lucas Lackner in 36th, followed by Patrick Rollins, Gaston Anabecki, Alex Hopkins, Daniel Jutso, Clemens Punzengruber, Fernando Corres, Massimiliano De Laurentiis, Reed Dennis, Arnio, Martin Devine, and Peter Brunsineski, followed by Ben Whitefield at the end of this 48-car grid. But I believe Ben did not set a qualifying time, so we might only be seeing 47 cars take it up on the grid. 5 cars starting sideways, 5 red lights are going to be turning on and then turning off. It's time to go. iGPFun Racing here at Okayama. And Samuel Harvey gets a good start, almost getting beside of Lucio. But Lucio taking turn 1 masterfully right now as we got 48 cars storming through the opening S's.
Seems like everyone is taking it super safe, as it is tradition in this championship. And here we go into the long right-hander that brings us onto the backstretch and the hairpin, old hairpin, which is going to be one of the premier passing spots of the night. Lucio Marteau in third and Hermer between them, top 3, top 8 unchanged.
It looks like the start of the Chicago Marathon, just everybody following each other. It's just a swarm of F3 cars. It's a very wide track, so you're able to get very side by side. This is probably the narrowest part of the track right here, but it's still so fun. And we got an issue. Lucio's made a mistake.
And he's sitting in the middle of the racetrack, and that's going to be game over
for our pole sitter. And this is what happens when we go to Okayama. Everyone knows this track, but because everyone knows this track, everyone's going to be trying to push it as fast as they can. And this is what happens when you just try to push it.
Oh man, in the middle of the track, great avoiding action.
It's going to get hit right here. Boom!
Someone clipped him. It was the 19. I think that was Lucas Maruk, who has some damage at the front, but he's continuing.
Yeah, some damage at the front, but he believes he can continue on. I do not see any wing damage, but he does have nose damage.
Yeah, the nose is not very straight. It's like my nose.
Yeah, he probably got into a boxing match earlier on. Just,
oh, you know. Clark Williams right in front of us.
Williams in the hairpin. He's backed up into the wall.
He's waiting diligently.
That's a good move. That's a good move.
This is not hitting the wall.
You know, I think he's making sure he doesn't Italian rear wing it, so he's fine. And there's more smoke in the back. Going slow as Corres. And Corres got a bent rear wing.
Yeah, so that corner, I mean, it is so difficult, that corner. It looks easy enough, but it's so slippery.
It's so slick. It's off camber. It's slick. And there's if somebody gets onto the dirt right there, it's going to throw it onto the track and make it even more difficult. You want to get onto the power one going up that hill, but you just spin. You spin in Skippies, you spin in the MX-5, you spin in the Solstice, surprisingly.
And I remember when I was driving the Skippy and I just started, and this was what, like the second or third racetrack of the season, and this is where I got my first ever road win in iRacing officially, and you know, it was such a you know, I would say almost a life-changing experience because learning this track with the Skippy, a car that has basically, you know, no aero grip, you have to make it work mechanically with road tires to boot. When it starts clicking around this racetrack with the Skippy, it's one of the best things you can have in iRacing.
Yeah, I remember this track for my first protest.
Against you or that you made?
Against me. It was denied, by the way. it was one of those you made me spin out moments.
Another Polish driver in trouble. His name is Peter Pusznicki. And
oh no! Off in the grass is Lucas Baruch in third place, and that's coming out of the hairpin.
Lucas Baruch is, you know, still holding on. I still see damage on his nose, which, as you were saying, is not as bad as having damage to the front wing. But as you can see, we are very quickly getting a train formed behind the digital Apex driver. And, you know, Meola, Petty, Zanier, Lucas, Cherry, White, Tulis, and the other, and Pieniążek will absolutely try and get the job done and jump him if they want to keep, you know, hold of these two leaders, Hermer and Marteau, who are running away with it.
Yeah, they are pulling away. It's going to be hard. And I'm now realizing something with... we had a little issue with the Apex Racing TV server getting a little crazy. I feel like I'm having one of those issues right now with the SDK stuff, because it still says I'm on Lucas Baruch. But I'm looking at Cherry.
Yeah, you are looking at Cherry.
Alright, as I'm going to go shoot a computer, I'll leave you guys with Marco.
Thank you, Austin. Hopefully you let me know when it's when you are back. So in the meantime, let's give a look at our leaders, and it's Samuel Hermer with QT Marteau in second, and as I was saying, they are pulling away from Lucas Baruch, who is in trouble but just made his personal best at 23 flat, but 22.94 for Francesco Meola, who looks to get as close as possible to the driver in front. In the meantime, at the turn 1 braking area, we had Pieniążek make the move on James Tulis, and now will try and get the best of Ben White, but of course Tulis remains in the draft, and of course McIntyre as well is there. So let's jump on board with the number 21 of Ben White, ERT, looking at the rear from his rear wing, and here comes the Polish driver on the inside at the hairpin, almost colliding front left with the right rear as they get into Redmond and Revolver, the double left-handers, which I might have swapped around. I never remember which one is Redmond, which one is Revolver. Super cool corner names, by the way, especially considering that a lot of these corners are named after British drivers. This was originally scheduled and meant to be a club circuit with mainly a main attraction was to basically provide track days, you know, especially because there are many golf courses in the area, so you could, you know, go and play a round of golf and then take your supercar out here. Then Formula 1 came for a couple of seasons, and then Super GT came, and it has been home of all levels of Japanese motorsport ever since. And it's a
It kind of explains the location now.
Yeah. So you are back, Austin, I guess.
Yes, I've been back. All I had to do is turn something on and off. But I was enjoying your little history lesson, so I just didn't say a word.
You know, when we come to Japan, I'm always very happy and talkative, you know, so...
Yeah, hey, I'm the same way, but you're even more way because, you know, you can actually read.
read is a big word. I can sort of make out some characters.
That's more than me. Oh, down the inside! Side by side, Beeson and Gnoseski. Beeson's got the nose on him going into the inside, but he does have the speed coming out. We're still side by side heading into the dueling hairpins right here. And it's not 180 degrees, either of these. It's about 150 degrees for each turn. And so it kind of feels like an hairpin, but it's actually a very, it's more of an elaborate kink. No, it's not elaborate. I don't know how I would describe it. It's an instant turn.
A part of the racetrack that really teaches you the importance of a racing line, you know, and keeping, connecting the corners, so to speak, so to take them as, you know, more like one corner, even though it's two corners, and not taking them individually, because you can go really faster if you know, take them as a whole. Oh, we have.
Oh, that is aggressive.
That's a great look. He almost forces Tulis Ben White to go off, but he's able to keep it on the track as James Tulis is still there. And Austin, I think I have bad news for you.
What? Why do you have to show me this?
Maybe it's only a spin. Oh, it's only a spin. See?
It's a spin and a save. There we go. I like that. Lance are keeping it out of the wall and the grass. It's very slick out there, so I don't blame him. I was having trouble keeping the wheels down as well earlier in the practice session.
You know someone we are missing today?
Is that Verani?
Yeah, Luca is not racing with us tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think he's off doing Luca Verani things.
You know, in Italy we say, and I think you say it in English slightly differently, that when the cat is not around, the mice dance, you know?
Yes, that is exactly not what we say here in America. When the cat's away, the mice will play.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So, but these drivers are behaving very nicely.
Look at that!
Great pass from Kenny Onshak there. I have to say the drivers, maybe because Luca is not around, are behaving even better than usual.
I don't think Verani wants to hear that. That's a very aggressive dive by Luis as McIntyre's following him right behind him. Luis getting very deep on the brakes, and McIntyre, he saw that. He's going to get a little bit more aggressive now seeing that.
Do you see the message on the rear wing of Tulis?
Oh, definitely beware that code, but I don't think McIntyre cares. I love that rear wing message.
Yeah. Absolutely lovely. Let's jump on board. Number 131.
The netcode machine of James Luis. Looking back at Will McIntyre. Hopefully he reads that message. And I love witty jokes on spoilers. Those are great. And you get to see two different lines heading through that hairpin.
I think McIntyre has a lot of draft now, but great defending from Tulis. Of course, you can go to the inside, and I think McIntyre is thinking about it, Austin. But
oh, he's looking. I think he's looking, trying to scare him.
I like that this hairpin has a bit of camber on the outside, you know. So even if you go to the inside, the outside is still a bit quicker, or at least equal. And then, of course, the guy that has the outside there has the inside of the double left-hander. So then you have this beautiful section here. I mean, absolutely fantastic racetrack.
The thing is, on that double left-hander, you kind of want to be on the outside, though, to get the speed coming off of that exit and heading into that hairpin. So that entire section after that first hairpin is very, it's like a chess game. And racing here in the lower formulas, you see a lot of fun chess moves here. And speaking of lower formulas, I gotta say, the Formula V series that's coming next year is going to be absolutely fun to watch when they come here.
You know, I have.
They will not be coming to the full circuit.
You know, maybe they will. You know,
They'll be the short circuit at least.
well, maybe they. You know, the MX-5 does both, for example, and they come here.
This is true.
But you know, I have a policy, a long-standing policy of not racing in the summer, because one 15-minute race equals a Dakar stage with the weather we have here, even with air conditioning on before you say anything. But I might, you know, if they come here, I might give it a shot.
I'm definitely giving it a shot, having actually driven in a Formula V car and wanted to compare it on to how it is. It's like a Skippy, but you lost all the power. It's a great car to have to teach people on how to drive in single seaters though. So I'm glad that's finally getting it added to the service.
I think it's going to be free also, if I'm not mistaken.
It is free. It is free.
We had a big wreck here at the back. It's Alex Hopkins.
Oh, Hopkins, he's off in the grass. I don't see any. Did he get into? Oh, that is close right there.
And speaking of having the inside,
oh no! Riding on the wheel and the wheel hop and into each other. That's a lot of body parts being strewn over the track right there.
As I was saying, Marteau has been answering punch for punch to Hermer's early charge in the race, and now he's being slightly quicker, but not quick enough to get close and go for the move. But as we can see on the track map, which is not the weather, but the track map, they have a couple of lapped cars in front of them, even though they are still a bit away from, you know, the big pack of cars. But with you know, 22 laps to go, a lot of things can change.
Yeah, they have Gaston ahead of them. But
oh!
Look at this! Oh no! That's one of the Metallica cars, and multi-car incident in the exit of the hairpin. Kirkwood involved, Grosecki involved. Oh my goodness!
I think Zomotor was
Andy
involved as well.
Flint. Yeah, that was Andy Flint being involved in there, and I feel like, oh, yeah, it was the Metallica car of Andy Flint being involved, and then unfortunately, Zoltan Zomotor gets hit from behind while trying to break up and avoid it, and yeah, that's just very unfortunate for all those drivers in that situation, because it's kind of blind apex when you're going through there. If you're on a single monitor, you will not see the end of that corner until you're actually in the end of the corner.
It was one of the, you know, highest damage compared to slow speed crashes I've ever seen on iRacing. They were basically stopped even when they were side by side, and they still managed, unfortunately, to get a massive amount of damage, as I don't think Hermer has been, sorry, I don't think Marteau has been as close as Hermer as he is right now as they go on the start-finish line once again. And let's see the lap times. 1/10 faster was Marteau last lap. Let's see this time around. And almost identical.
Marteau. He's got that draft and he knows where he needs to be. They're approaching a little three-car train ahead of him. And they're going to catch them, I would say, at the end of this hairpin.
We know drivers in iGPFun are very, very respectful of the gentleman code. So, you see, there are drivers already pulling on the side, even ahead of the guy that's supposed to be pulling. Or maybe it was an overtake attempt, I don't know.
I think he might have had a little bit of a wiggle right there, but now he's staying onto the outside and letting these two by. Hermer almost getting to the back right there. Hermer's got a very compromised line and a very tight place to make a very tight place on the track to really make an overtake, even if for position.
Very smart from Samuel Hermer there, not forcing the issue. And he's now start-finish line, and again, those are going to be pretty similar lap times. As behind them, we might have a fight for third very soon, because, I mean, Lucas Maruk, full props to him. He's driving a wooded race car, but this hasn't stopped him from keeping it in third. And the massive train of cars that was behind them is has disappeared. Only Francesco Meola is left.
Yeah, Francesco Meola, got to spin in front of him. So, the lapped car.
Yep.
As Marteau, he's filling the mirrors right now of Samuel Hermer. We got about 14 between Dave Martin and Matthew Bullock. Ooh, that's a big, aggressive defensive move down the inside, but Martin, he snuck his way down there. He's going to try to use that inside line to his advantage, but watching the camera on the outside allow Martin to stay ahead. Almost contact through that corner, but around the outside in those double left-handers, Dave Martin makes it work. And that's where I had my first protest.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mohamed Boualeg is something like 11, 12 years old. He does Apex Academy F3 as well.
You'll have more information on that than me.
Yeah, I already forgot, because there are... I think he races with his brother in the series. I'll get back to you on that.
Alright, I'll let you know. But yeah, that double left-hander is prone to many accidents around this track. And many off-tracks.
No, he's the older of the two Rolex. He's
okay, he's the older of the two.
1988, so 1 year older than me.
Oh. Well, I know most of the iGPFun crew likes to get into a voice channel and have a little watch party of this after that, so I feel like they're going to be getting a little bit of laughs from that situation.
Ooh, little bit of a mistake there from Hermer. He puts two wheels on the grass.
He's just cooling his tires.
Barto second, Maruk, Meola, Petty. Let's see what we have here in the back. Still Boualeg and Sonny Rosario.
Yeah, Mohamed Boualeg using that draft to his advantage, and those older years over his brother, you know, being very precise. And ooh, no, Premslaw is off in the gravel of turn 2.
So that happened to Pionionchek. Coming out of turn 1 and entering turn 2.
Did the wheel on the grass, I think, when turning in.
He avoids the wall, but now he's in a big fight.
Yeah, we were just looking at Dave Martin and Boualeg, and there they are right now, side by side, heading into the hairpin. Very tight racing between these three. Looks like Mohamed has just left them off.
Austin, you know, you of course are a former driver. When you make a mistake like this, oh dear me!
Oh no!
That was a bit optimistic from Boualeg, I'm afraid.
Yeah. He saw them fighting in the corner ahead of him, so he was like, he got the speed on Frem's line, so he really went for it, but unfortunately, that corner is so optimistically against you. If you go in there with a lot of power, you're just going to go in there and unfortunately just not really make him a spot, but it's so tempting to try to send one down the inside right there. As there we got a car off
Should
in
be
the gravel at turn 1.
That towed back to the pit. So going back to what happened to Pionionchek, no? when you are, you know, you make a mistake and then you come back in big traffic, no? I always feel like drivers that do that, then they are very prone to making another mistake because they are angry at themselves and they want to get back as quick as possible. So for the first few minutes after what happened, they are not very concentrated, they are a bit angry, and so they find themselves in a massive pack of cars. And I was expecting Pieniążek to make like a, you know, bold move, but in reality,
a red mist decision.
It was him who got almost taken out, and they all got very lucky there, Austin, because that would have been a massive wreck. And it's incredible that only Pualeg himself lost not a lot of time in the end, because he only had half speed. So definitely the lucky star is shining on most of these drivers today, as Maruk and Meola are still nose to tail after all these laps. And Ermer still in the lead, and what could have been, of course, for Marcus Lucio, pole sitter today, but unfortunately victim of the Japanese tarmac in the very first lap. Here comes Meola, knocking on the door, at that outside line on the hairpin. Oh, I think a 3 wide moment with a lapped car, McIntyre Touris, it's Ruska behind them. They live to tell the tale. That outside line on the hairpin with a slight banking, you see how much it propelled Maruk forward there and helped him keep the position. Couple of battles in the back, De Laurentiis winning karting. And we also have two drivers who are looking to make a comeback. This is Lucas Lackner, very close to Richard Van Veen. Very, very, very close. Ooh, maybe too close there. Oh,
very close, but a very good send up the inside. But now we're going to have a little fight back from Richard Veen now. They're still side by side. Veen is going to be back by a car length. Is he going to get a little revenge on him? He's not going to send it down the inside, but he's going to force Lucas Lackner to use that camber to his advantage and whip his car around there.
In the meantime, a bad lap for Marteau. And he loses a bit, I mean, bad lap. 22.3, and Meola attacks Maruk at the hairpin and gets the job done, Austin. Still these three guys battling it out. McIntyre Touris and Ruska, who I think is a new entry to the series, and definitely doing fantastically, because being in the top 20, it's a 48 car field. It's not an easy feat.
And no, I'm not slightly distracted by the Vegas playoff game right now.
Oh, as we go on to the start-finish straight for one more passage. It's passage lap number 20 right now, as I think that Ermer got a bit back. Yeah, gap is now closer because Marteau got almost 0.2 of a second back on the race leader after a poor lap earlier. Gap is now 0.5 of a second. Francesco Meola now trying to get rid of Lucas Maruk, but Gavin Petty, sorry, I thought like I was going to have a massive sneeze and then it went away. Whilst I was looking for the mute button. Here comes Pieniążek on the inside of Martin.
Oh, this
easy
is
peasy.
Good.
And he gets back to
I want
Peter
to say that sometimes.
And what happened to Ito-san? Very slow at the hairpin. Nothing major. Maruk and Meola will both go for a ride in the grass. We're getting close to the 10 laps to go mark, Austin. Nothing changes at the front. And the top 14 drivers have all swapped positions at some point in the race. Actually, the only driver in the top 25 to have not moved, which is a great challenge in this, is Sonny Rosario. There he is. Started 15th, and he is 15th.
Yeah, Rosario, well, stayed in the same spot where he started. Some things could have gone better for him. Some things, yeah, definitely a few things could have gone better for him. But yeah, if you aren't going down from where you started, I still say that's a good day.
Clark Williams attacking Bull Leg. Let's jump on board with the British driver.
Yeah, Bull Leg, we saw him made a mistake earlier by going deep on the brakes. I think he's going to be a little bit assertive right here. Williams swinging around the outside, and he's got that position made.
There was a great pass from Clark Williams up into 19th. Unfortunately for him, he's 15 spots back from where he started. Have a quick look at the weather while we're at it. Up to 31 degrees is the track temperature, as Luca Termer getting the draft of that lapped car. You cannot leave anything on the table when you're in a fight this close, Austin.
Absolutely, everything's gonna be off the table. The silverware, the plates, the placemats, the drinkware, the winery glass, even those decorated flowers in the middle that I'm 100% sure are fake. And then that lit candle is gonna go off the table and into some old lady's hairs. Then the entire table mat too, and maybe a chair or two. You were not expecting that.
Very picturesque description.
Hey, Texan bar fights are fun.
And the fleet gets past the vine, who makes a mistake, gets passed by a lapped car.
I think, yeah, yeah, that was a lapped car passing him. It's also his teammate.
Maybe it was a lead lap car, actually, Marco.
Yeah.
That was... Oh!
Oh my gosh! 12th place, James Luis, hard into the pit wall, and that is one destroyed Formula 3 car.
That was massive.
Got into the gravel, was turning, then it hard impacted the wall, flipping over end over end. Oh my goodness.
See from the onboard.
If you want to see a camera break into pieces, this is what it looks like. Oh. You know,
Yes.
that looked just like Romain Grosjean's crash at Bahrain. Except there's no Armco barrier and no flames, but thankfully there's no flames.
You know, it was, it surprised me because, you know, we've seen a lot of drivers go off the track there, even more than him, and keep it on the track, going full throttle, but...
I believe he had some steering angle already locked in there, and the car was just fighting that grip already from his front wheels after having a little bit of understeer good out, and then all the outside grip just fell away and they just followed the front wheels. And that might explain why it happened. The rotational force just took over because of the forward traction just dying out. I'm getting very into physics right now. I need a whiteboard right here for Austin Physics Corner. We got Gavin Petty looking down the inside. Big send for him. It's a little bit too deep. He's using all the track at the exit, but Gavin Petty made the move work. Yeah, he's off the track just a little bit. It's totally fine.
Great pass
and
from
Marteau
Petty.
and Herbert. Marteau and Herbert. Herbert, Marteau. Hermer's around. Hermer has spun it. Hermer's made a
with a lap
collision
car.
with someone.
Oh dear.
Samuel Hermer has lost a front wing, and we get to finally hear the pit noise.
I think that was Lucas Lackner. So Lucas Lackner minding his own business.
Yeah, you see the leaders already closing in on him, and well, this is a few corners before the incident, but you can see the closing pace of these two gets into the grass a little bit, and I feel like this is their rear wing shot. He might have spun right here.
He was very far away.
The second corner might have spun because there's a lot of ground between these two. There's the spin. Oh no. Oh no.
Ouch.
And that is the most unfortunate way. I thought it was just a little misunderstanding, but no, it was just well, it is a misunderstanding, but he was already moving before Hermer came around the corner, and Hermer had no idea where he was going. He's got all that smoke in his eyes, and that is so unfortunate for Samuel Hermer. As Thiago Marto has taken the lead of the iGPFun Formula 3 race here at Okayama, and he just threaded the needle right there.
Incredible, Austin. Incredible. Hermer is back on the racetrack after taking a fast repair. But,
Top 15.
As Glamsetter is in the gravel, getting passed by a couple of drivers. But what a disaster for him.
Disaster, but it could have been worse.
Yes, but you know, you are leading, so...
Yes, it is the biggest disaster currently. Though, he's not the, he wasn't the pole sitter. We've had multiple levels of unfortunate here in today's race.
So
two of them involving the race leader.
Yeah, the two. So the
Marcus
first leader,
Luzio and Samuel Hermer.
The first leader of the race crashed. The second leader of the race crashed. And now the curse on the shoulders of QT Marteau, who has to hold on for a few laps more.
Now, if they crash, I'm blaming this on you. It's not my fault at all, because you brought it up.
I mean, Marteau is all alone.
He's off in his own world. He's off in his own world right now. The only traffic we see in his as Samuel Hermer trying to swing it around the outside of Sonny Rosario, and he's going to make that move done. And with ease coming off that exit.
Yeah, he gets past Sonny Rosario up into 13th place. Closest battle on track. Let's jump on board with Zachary Bison, who's following very, very closely.
Yeah, Sonny Rosario, very persistent, and we know on how quick he is. Never one to give up. He knows he can get a top 10 here if he pushes.
Issue for Dennis.
Oh, we got a car off. Dennis off in the hairpins. And the 40 car is also off. Alex Hopkins is around right in front of our leader.
As I can't find him in the timing screen, no?
He's at the very bottom.
He is at the very bottom. Oh yeah, he towed back to the pits. In the meantime, Bison, Rosario, Talsma, as Hermer tries to push away, and he's doing so. Dave Martin would be his next target. Let's see the lifetime comparison. Of course, Hermer being involved in a lot of traffic plus the crash, so this will be, I think, the first reliable comparison between the pair of them.
Yeah, it's going to be... Here comes Martin around there. Here comes Hermer across the line. 4/10 quicker. Samuel Hermer on Dave Martin. 3.5 seconds separates these two. Almost half a second a lap. It's going to be close for Hermer to pull it off. Unless they start battling ahead of him.
Yep.
Speaking of battling, the fight for third place is really heating up.
Yes, Meola now is safely in second after the crash. He has pulled away from the fight for third, which right now involves Gavin Petty, Lucas Maluku, Jean Zanier and Philippe Lucas. So it's going to be a very, very, very tight battle until the end.
I believe Philip Lucas is just going to be sitting back and watching this happen, but stay as close as you can in case somebody gets a little bit of a mistake. Gavin Petty's trying to pull away from Maruk as Luciano Zanier is probably the most spicy one out of this group of four.
Petty, Maruk, Zanier, Lucas still very close to each other as we have still this fight here in the back between Milne and Clark Williams. As maybe Williams will go for a move right now, maybe he does on the inside of the hairpin. And he's up into 17th place as Glecki gets past Ito-san before the braking area. Who is a very, very big gentleman is Ito-san, makes life easier as here comes Matisse, he gets past Martin Devine, that's for P35, as Thiago Marteau starts another lap, 4 laps left in this race. It seems like Petty has pulled away just slightly on Maruk, Zanier and Lucas, so he is looking into putting a nice seal on his third place finish, but still a lot can happen as we have a car in the gravel. It's Ilari Arnio back at the second of the two hairpins, and Lucas has had a problem, Austin. Oh, disaster. Did he go for a move? Let's see. No, he was far back from everyone, so strange mistake. Let's see. Ooh, missed the braking area completely. He was looking at the battle in front of him, probably.
That is very odd.
De Laurentiis on Justo, Italy versus France, and De Laurentiis. Again, the hairpin seems to be the most popular passing spot, Austin, today.
Indeed. Looking at Massimiliano De Laurentiis leading his pack for 24th. Got a good 4-car fight. Here's Ben White popping out of the draft of the number 11th. He's got Philip Lucas right behind him, and Lucas, well, he's made the corner unlike last time.
Canadians here, Rosario and Talsma, but there's Zachary Bison in front of them. The number 42, lovely livery there. And Isaac Ruska also fighting with Pionczek for P10 jump on board. The driver from the Scandinavia region here on iRacing. See if he can pop out of the draft there, but turn 1 is not a very big passing spot in my opinion. But you can certainly set up a move for the hairpin. Let's say the first half of the lap, it's not really a passing part of the track, but then from the hairpin onwards you have passing opportunities galore. Oh!
Whoa! I think PSNEC is... Oh my goodness! Well, I said that was a DeLorean pass. He blipped in, blipped out, and ended up behind him. PSNEC right beside Isaac. He's going to be sending it up the inside. Side by side they go through the corner. PSNEC's got the advantage, but here comes Isaac right down the inside. But, oh, that's a lot of oversteer correction coming out of there. Fremsel, PSNEC taking 10th place. White flag in the air. And that's a very aggressive look. Big dive from Isaac.
This will be solved in the last lap, I think, Austin, as Dave Martin wants a piece of the pie. Ruska seems to be very determined to get back to 10th place, as you were saying. White flag.
He's using all the tracks to try to get an advantage on Fremslaw.
As I have to say, Austin, I'm looking outside of my window. The moon is absolutely lovely tonight.
I can tell. Hey, it's a great night all over the world right now. Over in Japan, over in Africa, over in Australia. Actually, no, they're having a good morning right now. But, you know, they had an amazing night. And, you know, I'm expecting the moon to look absolutely fantastic when it gets over here. But, yeah, I can feel it on that. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Cherry having a little bit of a wiggles. One's trying to look down the inside. White flag bringing all the pasta to the shop today. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Checker flag waves. QT Marto takes the victory and denies Marco of the pleasure of cursing him.
Now a second, Petty third. Let's see who gets 7th. I think it's going to be Ben White.
Unless something happens right here, I do not believe it will. As, okay, I think Lucas is just going to be weaving this car around and kind of acting like the IndyCar's force feedback system. Oh, no. Too much mustard! Grishevsky's around. Too much mustard coming out of the corner, and that's allowed Ido to steal a top 20, and Punzegruber to take 21st.
He will have to settle for 22nd position. As also, here we go with Justo, Glamsetter and Carty. They finish 25th, 26th and 27th. And now we are waiting for Martin Devine, I think, and Ilari Arnio, and then we should be. I saw for a second Christian in the wall, but no, it was just an off track.
Yeah, it's just an off track. Some drivers stopping on track, trying to believe what kind of a race this was. Here comes the 44 of Ilari Arnio coming across the line, and that is our race here today at Okayama. It was a little bit dry for a while. And then at the end, we turned up the spice, and oh my goodness.
So, QT Marteau wins after a very, very tough race at the front. Lady Luck did not smile to the previous two leaders of the race, but he was able to bring it home in one piece in front of Francesco Meola and Gavin Petty, who holds on for third. Lucas Maruca and Luciano Zanier finish 4th and 5th. In front of Leonard Cherry and Ben White. Phil Lucas, Will McIntyre, top 10 is rounded up by Premislav Pionionchek. Then we have Isaac Ruska, Dave Martin, Samuel Ermer, what could have been, of course, for in Zachary Pison, Sonny Rosario, Clark Williams, Adam Talsma, Stuart Milne, Patrick Rowlands, and Ito San, who I think has his best result in a while, top 20 in his home turf. Clemens Bunzengruber in 21st in front of Bartosz Gerecki, Mohamed Boualleg, Massimo De Laurentiis, Daniel Justo, Christian Glamsetter, Nick Carty, Reed Dennis, and to close the top 30, apologies, Andrea Brachetti and Richard Van Vinden. We have James Tullis, Antonio Teyes, Gaston Andbeek, Andy Flint, Mark Matisse, Martin Devine, Ilaria Arnio, Russell Kirkwood, Lucas Lackner and Alex Hopkins, and of course Peter Brzezinski, Zoltan Zomotor, Phil Waller, Johan Birgersson, Fernando Correas, Mikhail Potocek, Marcus Lucio, the pole sitter, another very, very bad luck as a flock of birds goes in front of the camera. 2D birds, of course. And last but not, we need a new bird model in iRacing. Ben Whitfield.
Yeah, we need more birds. We need more
Yes.
birds.
And we need the moon.
I like
also.
birds.
Speaking of the moon.
We also need wait, I shouldn't have said that.
As I was saying, Ben Whitfield rounds up your field for tonight. Has been another exciting event. Thank you all for watching. No Luca to have an interview with today, but we can talk about what's coming up next on Apex Racing TV, of course. And
what's happening next week?
in the
We're
championship.
headed to Silverstone. Yeah, Silverstone.
Yeah, actually, getting closer and closer to the end of the season here. We are only having 3 races remaining, Austin. It's incredible. Seems like yesterday that we had the season started. And what a way to end the season. Silverstone Grand Prix, Road Atlanta, and we finish the season in my own country at Monza for what
Sadly, I will not be there for that race. I'll be enjoying the sights and sounds of the greatest race in the world, the Indianapolis 500.
which I think will take place at the same time as this race. So
It will. It
multi-monitor
will.
all
Actually,
the way.
Yeah, multi-monitor, and if you look at the paddock, you might be seeing some crazy American, multiple crazy Americans, but one really crazy American, this guy, in the stands.
Perfect. So don't miss that. Who knows who's going to join me in that race? Because I think most of the Apex Racing staff will be watching the race. So we might have a rare Marco Barbanera solo special for that event. Who knows? Who knows? But we also have a lot of stuff coming up next on Apex Racing TV, and I'm sure you don't want to miss it. So a quick rundown of what's coming next on this channel. We have the Rikmotech Classic Sprint Series that's going to be at midnight GMT of tomorrow, or for the people that live in the US, 8 Eastern. That's going to be live from one of the best racetracks, Barber, of course. So you don't want to miss that. The next day, at 9 p.m. Eastern, the Ray Esports Racing League Round 5 from Mid-Ohio. Another great race. Then later the day, but basically almost
too.
24 hours later, at 19 GMT, Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup Round 3 from Road Atlanta. Ooh. And then the last 3 rounds of the Apex Racing League TC Championship. Can't miss stuff, of course. We start on Thursday at 19 GMT. That is going to be live from Long Beach. So if you like North American racetracks, this is the place to be. Austin, we have had this week where we had basically Okayama in almost every race we did, and now we're going to have a lot of North American racetracks to watch racing from. That's not all, because as we were saying, there's going to be this on Sunday, of course, but before that, on Friday night, still at 19 GMT, we are going to have the Wave Italy ARL Prototype Championship Round 5 from Spa-Francorchamps. And then, as soon as that is over, basically, at 23 GMT, Radical Racing Challenge. I'm trying to make calculations in my head about the start time. Radical Racing Challenge. That's going to be at 9 GMT, 21 GMT.
Well,
Sorry.
Marco, I can make this a lot easier for all of our viewers who are interested in our schedule. The easiest way to know that we are live, if you subscribe and ring that bell to find out when we are live next. And we do have a playlist on our upcoming live streams here on our YouTube. So if you're wondering if we have a stream that day, go on to our YouTube page and you can see what exactly is coming up next here on Apex Racing TV here in the iGPFun Formula 3 series presented by Virtual Racing School. I've been joined by Marco Bombonera. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.